So here's the completion of my project that I got a idea off of a rocker box that has a hand water pump on the side. I seen one of these, really ingenious, I think, but a little bit too spendy for me this time of year. And so I thought I have materials that I can use, and I'm fairly good with my hands and doing things like this. So I thought, well, I can build me one of those a lot cheaper. And so this whole thing here ended up costing me, buying the hand water pump for $40, and the Vortex matting that I'm using inside of here cost me about $20. And then I just had spare parts. The only other thing I bought was this threaded linkage that I used here, and that was just a couple bucks. But everything else I already had. I already had all the framework, I had the riffle system, I had the expanded metal, and I had the classifiers and pipe and everything. So I just decided, well, I'm going to build my own. And it's actually works pretty well. I'll show you a demonstration here, but this is hooked on right here, just hooked onto the rocker bar handle. And then when I pump this handle here, it just rocks the box back and forth. And if I keep rocking it'll pump water. If you follow my my pipe, which I already had, my 1 1/4 or half-inch tubing over here to a bucket in the middle of my backyard. So what I did is I took a 6-foot dredge sluice that I never used, that my wife bought actually at a yard sale. I never did use it. I plugged up the dredge box adapter area in the back of it, and then I cut it down to 28 inches, which is what I decided to make the rocker box at. In order to get it to do the rocker motion, I'll give you a picture underneath here. I built under here the rocker system right there. All they are is those are 1-inch aluminum, flat aluminum, that I bent front and back of this into over a 1-gallon paint can. I just formed them, then I bent them at an angle so I could screw them on underneath here. So here's they can't see them here, but here's what they look like underneath there. Put pins in them, put plates down for them, and it rocks back and forth in the plate on those little rockers that I built out of 1-inch aluminum stock. So that didn't take anything. I had the aluminum sitting around. Here's another side view of it. You can kind of see better back here where it's setting on the supports that I built right there. That's just 1-inch aluminum stock, front and back, that I bent around a paint can and then formed it to be able to bolt it onto the box itself. Now for the box, I chose to utilize Vortex matting in it, put some expanded metal, and I still have some of the riffles from the box, the previous sluicing box that I had, and I just utilized it. For the top, I took an old classifier that I didn't use anymore. I cut a round hole in the top of the breaker box here, and then I attached the old bucket classifier to it. And this one just sits right in top of it, and so you just put the material down in here, and then you begin to push, pump, and rock it, and the water runs down through and classifies as you're doing it. I mounted the little hand pump here, this whale gusher, to some spare metal that I had. Just mounted it bottom and top, and attached the hand pump to it. This is just a little electrical hanger that I had that I'm using here, and I attached the threaded linkage so that it's attached to the hand pump. Then whenever I rock it back and forth with the handle here, it's on a 36-inch handle that I have. You can hear the air going through it right now. Then I came off with a 1.5-inch tubing. I went to a 1.5-inch elbow. I attached it to a mount that I made that attaches to the back of the framework, and I necked it down to 1.25 and for my water delivery system. Now, what I'm planning on doing here is making some sort of maybe a T or something, a sprayer, to get better uniform water distribution on there. But I'll go ahead and give it a few pumps, and you can see it working, and it works pretty good actually once you get it primed and ready to go. Okay, I can feel the water coming in now. Of course, I'll have to kind of put a rock on it to stabilize it. As you can see, you can see the water going down through it. Back and forth motion of the rocker. Delivering here, washing the rock here, and then on down through the sluice mat. As I said, I got different areas that I wanted to go over. I have the vortex matting, then I have expanded over the vortex, then a riffle over the expanded and vortex, and I end up with just the expanded and some vortex. When I'm pumping it, I'm going to have to place a rock or something on this side to kind of keep it stabilized, which is just not a problem at all. But anyhow, that's what it looks like, and it works pretty good, and I'm really actually kind of proud of it. I'm going to use this for some, prospecting, where I'm just going out trying a new spot. Also in areas where you can't use motorized equipment, this is still legal. Still pump water from a water source like a river and utilize it that way. But for what I'm going to use it for some test prospecting and stuff, and things like that, I think it's going to work really good. So it moves about a half a gallon of water a stroke is what it's rated at. And as you can see, I pulled this 15-gallon container down fairly fast with just a few strokes. But next time I see this, I'll be taking it out on the field with a few more modifications, and I'll show you a video of it working there. So anyhow, let me know what you think. I wish I would have came up with this idea myself, but I can't claim it being my own idea. I just seen one and thought, well, I can build one like that with what I got and save me, several $100s. And have a little bit more sense of pride for it. Here's what the base looks like. And here's what the underside looks like. Again, you can see how I made those rockers on there. 1-inch aluminum, bent around a 1-gallon can. Put some pins on the ends of them, attached them to the box itself. And then they just mount in front and back. So that's it right there in a nutshell. Real simple, real inexpensive, lots of fun. Talk to you later.